It's Thursday, April 15th, and it's time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Residents could soon be subjected to new measures to prohibit the indiscriminate use of potable water. The warning from General Manager of the Barbados Water Authority, Keith Roy Halliday. It comes amid concerns over the heavy use of water in recent days to wash down the ash which is being dumped on the island by St. Vincent's La Soufrière volcano. Emmanuel Joseph has the story.
The water company general manager said the matter of new water use restrictions came up for discussion Wednesday by the management team of the authority, but further consideration was deferred to Thursday.
Every day we look at it. We've looked at it today and determined that we didn't need to do it. Tomorrow we'll look at it again and see where we are. The challenge we had is that we had burst mains, so that would have restricted the water flow in some areas. And because of the continued high demand, there are a number of areas which traditionally would not have seen deficits that are now experiencing water outages. And so our tanker fleet is out there fighting furiously to attend to all of the needs. So we're topping up community tanks, we're topping up personal tanks, we're trying to deal with all the residential homes. We're trying to make sure that we have enough water in the pipes by managing it through, caution.
Halliday said while he acknowledges that people need the precious commodity, he must still appeal to their good conscience and civility to conserve water.
We're not stopping the use of water. We're just saying to everyone, just be aware, be conscious. You can't have one of hose for hours straight washing down a house. You need to do strategic cleaning, and as time elapses or goes forward, you do some of the other types of cleaning. And you can't, and it may not make sense to do a full clean. We are all engaged in a national cleanup for health and safety and to get the ash out of the way. But it isn't every single factor or every single area we're going to be able to clean one time. Over a period of time, we're going to keep going back.
That was General Manager of the Barbados Water Authority, Keith Roy Halliday, and I'm Emmanuel Joseph for Barbados Today.
Government's decision to delay the reopening of school by a week in a bid to clear volcanic ash from the plants has gotten the nod of the teachers' unions. Both the Barbados Union of Teachers and the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union feel government had no choice but to postpone the new school term because of the additional risks posed by the ash being dumped by the La Soufrière volcano in recent days. The third term is now set to begin on April 26th.
We all agree. I don't think this is a situation that any of us could have had objection to that recommendation. So we agree to the recommendation to postpone the opening for 1 week and to wait basically and see how the volcanic ash behave for the next week, few days, see if there needs to be an extension as we are able to open on the, what will now be the 26th. But I know some schools have not started cleaning yet, so I don't know when, but we're at least taking the first week, and we see how it goes from there.
Meanwhile, BSTU President Mary Redmond said the ministry's hands were tied in the matter.
Of course, there was really no alternative because, the level of ash that has enveloped the country is not one that anybody could have contemplated. We reopening school within our ongoing context, and the minister too has made it clear that week is more or less a provisional time frame because everything depends entirely on the continued activity or the extent to which there is continued activity with the volcano, because we really can't have anyone in schools in the conditions that presently exist.
Meantime, during a press conference held yesterday to give an update on the reopening of school, Education Minister Santia Bradshaw disclosed that a paper will be taken to Cabinet today in relation to the composition of a new Health and Wellness Committee.
During this period, as we prepare to go back into the school environment, we recognize that the mental health and wellness of our teachers was of paramount importance, and certainly also of our students. And therefore, I would have said on the last occasion when I spoke about returning to the classroom environment, that it was our intention to establish a health and wellness committee, I can update the country that we have, in fact, started to create the framework for that committee. Tomorrow at Cabinet, we'll be taking the paper to be able to get the sign off in relation to its composition. And then we will be in a position to start working on ensuring that all of our stakeholders are better equipped to deal with mental health and wellness issues, but also that this forms part of a wider approach that we will take going forward, even within the wider curriculum, to be able to ensure that our students understand how to deal with these types of eventualities when they arise.
The Barbados Coast Guard puts its training for humanitarian missions to a test as it contends with numerous explosive eruptions at St. Vincent's La Soufre volcano. Coast Guard patrol vessel HMBS Leonard C. Banfield on Friday sailed to Kingstown, taking aid supplies with a crew of 20 sailors and officers who encountered extremely low visibility due to the ashfall. For Lieutenant Sean Hazelwood, the contingent was adequately prepared for the challenges they confronted en route to Kingstown Harbour.
Traveling to a low visibility situation in St. Vincent was something that we would have been prepared for due to prior training. Additionally, part of our security mandate as part of the RSS is to do south sector patrols and north sector patrols. So this isn't the first time that we would have gone to St. Vincent. So we're relatively familiar with the area and we would know how to get in and how to get out. Once we get the task, we just have to find a way to make it happen. You can appreciate that a patrol vessel isn't a cruise ship, but we would do our best to render any assistance. Obviously, if we were in the same position, we would want someone to do their utmost for us. So that's what we're going to be doing for our brothers and sisters in St. Vincent.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Regional developments now. The Caribbean and other countries in the Americas are being urged to implement a comprehensive strategy of not only immunization but also public health measures to curb the spread of COVID-19. The plea from the director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Caricia Etienne, who warned that COVID-19 vaccine deliveries to the Americas have slowed in the past few weeks and supplies are not expected to normalize for a few more weeks.
Despite ongoing transmission in many places, restrictions have been relaxed. Crowds are back and people are gathering indoors and taking public transportation, often without masks. We need to remember everything that we have learned about how dangerous this virus is and what we can do to stop it. I cannot stress this enough. For most countries, vaccines are not going to stop this wave of the pandemic. There are simply not enough vaccines available to protect everyone in the countries that are at greatest risk. Therefore, we need to stop transmission by any means possible with the tools that we have at hand. This will require comprehensive strategies to both accelerate the rollout of vaccines and control the virus using proven public health measures.
And finally, Europe's economy is growing, but there is still need for continued support as vaccine rollout programs gain speed. That's according to a newly released European Regional Economic Outlook by the International Monetary Fund. The report stated that it was critical that the EU manage its vaccine programs to limit economic scarring among other things. Alfred Kramer, the director of the IMF's European Department, explains.
Despite a halting start, vaccines are expected to become widely available in Europe this year and next. Accordingly, We project the economic recovery to strengthen and Europe's GDP growth to rebound by 4.5 and 3.9% this and next year respectively. This will return Europe's output to its 2019 level by 2022, but leave it below the level that we had projected before the pandemic. We have a game changer because with so many effective vaccines available, and vaccines will be essential in controlling and ending this pandemic, we are actually predicting that this rebound is going to happen in the second part of the year. But again, it depends on, are we going to roll out vaccines in time? What's the speed? The earlier the better, because the economic cost of lockdown and containment measures is large at this stage.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.